What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Phoenix Fight Garage. I am the Fight Father. We've got a huge card coming up. Cheers. I am the Fight Father. We are here for UFC 317 this weekend. I had to squeeze in an episode just because I was just on vacation. And before that, my wife was out of town, so we have been busy. We've been lacking on the polls, but we are back full time, rearing to go. We got a great pay-per-view on Saturday night in Las Vegas, International Fight Week. After that, we've got a great fight night with Derek Lewis and another guy that is really about to run through the ranks of the heavyweight division. After that, we've got Dustin Poirier's Last Dance in Louisiana. After that, we've got the great war in Chicago between Dricus du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev. But without further ado, let's jump into what we are talking about tonight. Don't forget, on this channel, you're here to learn, you're here to have a good time, and just talk about fighting, baby. We are in the Phoenix Fight Garage, so it's cooking. It's got to be probably about 100 degrees in this garage right now, but we are doing fine, baby. I was just in Des Moines visiting some family, and my God, those mosquitoes and that humidity ate me alive. So we are happy to be back in the desert. We've got some fights going on in the background. We got Charles Oliveira and the Michael Chandler fight, but don't forget, you hear that number, you hear that sound, apologies, you take a drink. There might be a number of those throughout this. I am cigarless tonight. Like I said, just got back into town last night. I wanted to get this video made, edited, and published at least 48 hours before the main card took place Saturday night in Vegas. So I'm sorry for the delay, but I wanted to get this out. We're also going to get it into some short versions, at least maybe the bets or maybe the main fights if you're more interested in just that. We got a few additions to the Phoenix Fight Garage. We got Patty Pimblett action figures standing on the octagon. We both got our Sandhagen and Marab cards up here. We got our neon light and then our new UFC flag back here. I'm going to find a better place to hang it, but it is just so damn big. I got those for Father's Day. So let's get into this, folks. Another one for you, another one for me. We're just excited to be here. So let's dive in. We've got bets. We've got prelims we want to chat about. And then obviously the main event is stacked with big names. So let's jump into it. First off, the first prelim. There's some early prelims as well. Watch out for those if you're a true avid fan. But let's dive into T-Rex Terrence McKinney with a record of 16-7, a lightweight fight against Vinsharav Borashev, which he is 8-5-1, and he's coming into Vegas as him as a plus 145 favorite. I love T-Rex, love him on Twitter. He's liked one of my tweets before. Excuse me. Woo! I'm a big fan of his. As I mentioned, this is International Fight Week, so I believe we have 8 different countries fighting on the prelims and the main event. In this fight, we have USA versus Russia. Vladislav is 33 when T-Rex is 30. T-Rex is 16-7. Like I mentioned, we're huge fans here, but he is 3-3 in his last 6 fights. So he kind of needs one here. I'm cheering for him. He's been asking and wanting to get on this card, and here he is starting off the prelims, which I imagine will start off as a banger. He has a 4.5 reach advantage, but the Russian is 1 inch taller and kind of has a bigger build. So that one is close to a toss-up, but I will be rolling with T-Rex, and I believe I actually have him on a part of my undisputed bets. And just real quick, this is a tough fight to call, a tough card in general. In case you didn't see on Twitter or on a YouTube page, we absolutely crushed it at UFC 316. We got our entire parlay correct. We got our entire undisputed bets correct. So honestly, we're probably due for a loss. But we are on a hot streak, so we will see if we get our undisputed bets, our Phoenix Fight Garage parlay. We also have our Average Joe's bets and then the Wifey's bets as well. We'll get to that, though. On our next prelim, we have Viviane Araújo coming in at plus 185. She's the number 8 ranked women's flyweight, taking on, honestly, the sexy-ass Tracy Cortez, who is a Phoenix fighter. She actually was born in Maryvale. If you don't know where Maryvale is, that is the hood of Phoenix. She is smoking hot, also with an 11-2 record. She's coming off a loss to Rose Namajunas, so it's nothing to really get down about. She is 7 years younger. They both fight orthodox. And this is an interesting one. When I was going through my stats and information, yes, Vivian is from Brazil. Tracy is a Mexican, but also an American. And in her last 7 fights, they have all gone to decision. And Vivian's, her last 11 have all gone to decision. So if you want maybe in a shoe-in bet, that is it. This fight is going to decision. I will be shocked. Combined, their last 18 fights together have all gone to decision. This will be a good one. I do like Tracy here. I always usually pull for my Phoenix fighters. Didn't pull for Gastelum last month. That was a good move. But we got good ones left and right. That is a flyweight fight. Let's head into a featherweight matchup with 2 fighters that I'm really continuing to learn on. We have Jose Miguel Delgado versus Oliveira Emil. He is from the Philippines, while Jose is an American. Jose is 9-1. Oliveira Emil is 11-0, though, undefeated. This is his 3rd fight in the UFC. Also, he fought on Dana White's Contender Series. They both have switched stances. Jose is 2 inches taller with a 3-inch reach advantage, and he is 8 years younger. I usually like to pull towards if someone's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years younger and has a reach advantage and height advantage. I do usually like to stray that way, but Emil is undefeated and probably undefeated for a reason because he does not go to decision. Looking at his statistics, boom, that's for you. He either submits or knocks people out before the fight ends. So that might actually be an undercover great fight on the prelims. That one I would call our toss-up of the night. I'm probably going to lean towards Jose, but I could see Emil easily pulling that off, like I said, with the undefeated record. Then we move into my favorite fight on the prelims. We have Jack Hermansson of Norway versus Gregory Rodriguez of Brazil with the best nickname on the card, the RoboCop. We have talked about him on the Phoenix Fight Garage before. He is 16-6 to Jack's 24-8. This is a pretty big fight in the middleweight division, and God, these 2 are huge. Hermansson is 6'1", Gregory is 6'3". He is freakish looking, RoboCop is, to make it down to middleweight. It is pretty crazy to see him get in there and how big he is. His last fight, though, he lost to the Black Gorilla, Jared Cannonier, which that is nothing to look down on. Cannonier is a killer. He just can't quite get all the way to the top in that division. Gregory has nasty elbows and crazy power for that middleweight division. Vegas does like him right now around -200. I also like Gregory. I believe he is also on my undisputed bets this week. So 2 prelim fighters I have on the undisputed bets this week, so I will be tuning in early to check all these fights. Let's talk about Jack, though. They are both orthodox. Jack is 37 to Gregory's 33 years old, so he's a little older. He has beaten guys like Joe Pyfer. That was his last fight. He has beaten guys like Chris Curtis and Gastelum. But he has lost to guys like Roman Dolidze, Strickland, Vittori, and Cannonier. So he has fought some big names and lost to all those big names. So this one will be a tight one. Also, something to consider. His last, I believe, 8 fights has gone loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. His last fight being a win over Joe Pyfer. So I believe it's time for Jack to lose. So I'm probably going Gregory there. Let's talk about the main event, folks. We've got a great 5 fights, starting out with Peyton Talbot versus Felipe Lima. 2 up-and-comers in the bantamweight division. Peyton has 4 fights in the UFC. He is 3-1. His last fight, he was I believe a -900 favorite, and he lost. Got upset to Barcelos. But the fight before that against Giannis, he KO'd a guy in 19 seconds. So he has power at the bantamweight division. These guys are both very young. Peyton is 26. Felipe is 27. Peyton is from the United States. Felipe is from Brazil. Peyton has a 4-inch taller and 2.5 reach advantage. And Felipe Lima, this is his 3rd fight in the UFC. He has 1 win by submission and 1 win by decision, and he has a great nickname, the Jungle Boy. Peyton Talbot did cut all his cool-ass hair off recently. We saw what happened to Sean O'Malley when he changed his hair up, changed all his ways. Didn't go too well. So I am another really, really close toss-up here. I'm leaning towards Peyton just because he is such a high riser and he needs a win. If he goes back-to-back losses this early in his career, it's not exactly a great look. So, cheers to that. Next up, we have Beneil Dariush, number 9 in the lightweight division with a record of 22-6. He has been around for a minute. He is fighting a fan favorite, Renato Money Moicano, a great fighter who stepped in last minute to fight Charles Oliveira in his fought Islam Makhachev because Arman Sarukian hurt his back. So he stepped in last minute to fight Islam. Islam submitted him in the first round, once again showing why Makhachev is such a effing killer in that division. But as we know, Islam has left that division to go fight Jack Della Maddalena. So Renato is minus 162 when it comes to Vegas odds, so this is a little closer. He is 20-6 when it comes to his record. He is number 11 in the lightweight division. Renato is a Brazilian, even though he speaks great English. These guys have a lot of similarities. They are both 36 years old. They have both been fighting in the UFC for 11 years. They are extremely close in height. I believe Beneil is 1 inch taller, but they have the same reach. Last couple fights for Renato. He has beaten St. Denis, he has beaten Jalen Turner, and he has beaten Drew Dober. So he's kind of beaten some bigger names, but this is a big one, stepping up to fight Beneil. This will be a very even fight, in my opinion. Beneil was on an 8-fight win streak, but he lost his last 2. Round 1, TKO to Arman and Charles. So he has not fought since December of 2023. So he hasn't fought in a year and a half, and he's coming off 2 losses. I'm not really leaning towards Beneil. He is a good dude, a great American, but I don't see it. He has beaten guys like Mateusz Gamrot and Tony Ferguson, but I am leaning towards the money man, the guy who is fighting to get paid. Now, Renato, he's orthodox compared to Beneil's southpaw stance, but he has beaten guys like St. Denis, Turner, and Dober, as I mentioned, but he has lost to guys like Jose Aldo, Fiziev, and many others like Islam and a couple other big names. But this is a big step up for them. Like I said, they're both 36, so a big loss isn't great for these guys' careers. One of them will step up into the top 10, if not the top 8, if whoever wins this fight. So after that, we have a fantastic flyweight fight with one of our favorite fighters. If you haven't been watching the Phoenix Fight Garage, we have been all over Joshua Vaughn. People are starting to recognize this man from Myanmar that lives in America now, the Fearless, 14-2. He is a slight underdog coming into this fight, because he's fighting the number 1 ranked flyweight Brandon Royval. Brandon Royval is the next guy up, but he has lost to Pantoja twice. So I'm not sure that Dana White is really thrilled to throw him in there for a 3rd time if, of course, Pantoja beats Kai Kara France on Saturday night. So what if Josh wins? He is on a freaking roll. He is 7-1 in the UFC in the last 2 years. He just fought 21 days ago and won. So he is stepping in again. I believe Manel Kape was supposed to fight Brandon Royval, but he ducked out due to an injury. So Joshua Vaughn steps in like the effing dog that he is. But this is a huge test. Stepping up, Brandon Royval is fast. He only loses to championship caliber Brandon Moreno and Pantoja twice. His last 3 wins have been by submission. He is a fast dude. His hands are lightning quick. He is 4 inches taller, has a 3-inch reach advantage, and he is a southpaw stance fighter. This is a big one for the flyweight division because whoever gets this is probably going to have a chance at another title fight. Well, Joshua's first title fight. But This is a big one. I'm looking for electricity. I'm very interested to see how this one plays out. I mean, Joshua Vaughn wins this one in an electric fashion. He is going to become a star if he isn't already. This one, there's 2 fights on this card where my heart goes somewhere else than my head. Brandon Royval is the pick when it comes to betting, but my heart goes to Joshua Vaughn. So I will be riding with Joshua when it comes to my parlay. You decide where you want to go with that. I'll kind of be cheering for both guys, but I'll be leaning towards Joshua Vaughn. After that, folks, we have our co-main event. Another flyweight battle versus Alexandre Pantoja of Brazil versus Kai Kara France of New Zealand as we continue to add up these countries in this international fight week. Kai Kara France is 25-11. He has been in the UFC for a minute. He is a slight underdog at plus 215 from Vegas. He's 32 years old to Pantoja's 35 years old. They are both orthodox. Something to notice, though, is that Kai Kara France is 8-4 in the UFC. So if he loses this one, having an 8-5 record in the UFC isn't exactly great. Kai Kara France really reps the New Zealand warrior style, saying, I'm Maori, bro. I'm good to go. He does kind of his sticks his tongue out, rips his head off type of celebration. It's kind of cool. It's kind of lame at the same time. But his nickname is Don't Blink. He is a great fighter. He has beaten Urseg recently in a round 1 KO last fight. But when he fights big names, he loses. He's lost to Moreno twice. He's lost to Brandon Royval and Alabiles recently. He has lost to. So he is getting a second crack at the title here on this fight. He is fighting Pantoja, which is really growing his name into becoming one of the greatest flyweights of all time. Now, fun fact is these guys did fight on The Ultimate Fighter a long time ago with Pantoja getting his hand raised. This is Pantoja's 5th straight title fight. His nickname is even better than Don't Blink, the Cannibal. He is 1 inch taller. He has beaten Kape, Royval twice, Moreno twice, Urseg, Asakura. They had Asakura Kai step in against him recently. He handled him no problem. He is a beast. He has not lost in 5 years. And honestly, if I was to choose one guy on the prelims or the main card that I think is going to win his fight, like last week when I said Kayla Harrison was a shoo-in to bet the house, to bet the savings account, bet whatever you want on Kayla Harrison, she did it. I think Pantoja is better. I think he's one of the greatest flyweights of all time. I think his reign continues. Kai Kara France is great, but he has not reached the pinnacle of the flyweight division, and I do not think he reaches it either on Saturday night in Vegas. Moving into our last fight, which is why we are all here, which is why we are all tuning in Saturday night, we have Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. As you know, Ilia Topuria was the champ in the division just below him, but he is coming up and getting an automatic title shot. Now, if you didn't know, Charles is not the current champion. The title is up for grabs since Islam is going up to fight Jack Della Maddalena. So whoever wins this fight is the champion of the lightweight division, which is just a stacked division with guys like Gaethje and Poirier and Arman and Charles and Patty. It is going to be a blast to see how this division continues to play out. Charles, obviously Brazilian, 35-10 record. He is 5'10" to Ilia's 5'7". Ilia is undefeated, is 16-0. Charles is 7 years older, has a 5-inch reach advantage, and is going to look much taller than Ilia. Now, Ilia will look nice and toned and nice and thick in there. He's been saying in the embedded videos that he feels amazing while training since he doesn't have to cut as much weight. But let's get into Ilia a little bit. His first 7 wins as a professional fighter were all by submission, and only not one of them wasn't in the first round. So let's not forget that Ilia is fantastic on the ground. I believe he submitted Bryce Mitchell, and that's what Bryce Mitchell's good at. Ilia is on his way to becoming one of the biggest stars in the UFC. If he wins this fight and wins it in electric fashion, he could jump his way to being the face of the UFC. These guys are both orthodox. We've got Ilia, who is kind of Georgian, kind of Spanish. He is very confident in this upcoming fight. He is 8-0 in the UFC. He is an absolute beast, but he has only gone past 3 rounds one time, and that was to Josh Emmett, where it went all 5 rounds to decision. He has KO'd legends like Max Holloway, Volkanovski, a decision win to Emmett, and he also submitted Bryce Mitchell, as I mentioned. Ilia is the obvious choice here, as Ilia is a minus 500 favorite with Vegas this weekend. But don't you for a second count out my boy Charles Oliveira. This is another one where my heart goes with Charles, but my head goes with Ilia. This is a huge one. Last 2 fights for Charles, he fought Michael Chandler. He fought, I believe before that, I think it was Arman. So he has had a couple tough fights with a win and a loss decision to Arman. He has been in the UFC since 2010. He had 3 title fights in a row and defended it several times against guys like Gaethje, Dustin. I think he won it against Chandler. Both these guys fight in the orthodox position. They have huge terms on this fight. Charles with a decision win to Chandler, a loss decision to Arman, a KO to Beneil Dariush, and he got submitted by Islam. Okay, so he has been through the ringer. He has fought everyone in that division. He is an absolute legend and will be a Hall of Famer of the UFC. But can Charles become champion again? This is the question to be had. Can he step in there? Can he handle Ilia's power? Ilia seems to be so dominant in every fashion, but has he fought someone that's just as big, just as strong, just as skilled as Charles Oliveira is? This is what we will all be staying up late to see. Vegas loves Ilia. My buddy Joe, who we'll get to in a second here, even on bet terms, they have it as rounds of over 1.5. So Vegas thinks this fight is going to end early. I did a run through on UFC 5 earlier, the video game, and I actually knocked Ilia out in the first round with a leg kick to the chin. So all sorts of feelings coming up here. Huge fight, huge reasons to go with each guy, but we will see how it plays out Saturday night in Vegas. Let's talk about some bets here, folks, and then we will get you out of here. That's delicious. So, undisputed bets, folks. I love T-Rex, RoboCop, Renato Money Moicano, and Pantoja. If you're betting any money this weekend, folks, I think Pantoja to win is a shoo-in. I think the Tracy Cortez fight going to decision is automatic. Phoenix Fight Garage parlay. Oh, sorry, let me back up. Undisputed bets. Those 4 fighters is plus 522. $20 wins you 124. On UFC 316, we quadrupled our money. So we'll see what happens here. My entire Phoenix Fight Garage parlay is hilarious. You'll see why. But I like Peyton, Vaughn, Moicano, Pantoja, and Charles. Told you, my heart's kind of riding on this one. The odds for that is plus 5,335. $20 wins you almost $1,100. So really, if you do hit that, if you win that, send me some cash, because that would be insane if it all went in that fashion. Average Joe's bets, baby. He likes Joshua Vaughn, Pantoja, Ilia, and then he also added in Ilia over 1.5 rounds. So he's not riding with Vegas with the early stoppage. That is a plus 500 winnings, winning you $80 on $20. And then the wifey went with Charles and Vaughn at plus 712. That wins you $20 on 162. So great bets. It's going to be a fantastic card. We've got more coming at you. We've got Poirier's Last Dance in Louisiana coming up. We've got Duplessis versus Chimaev coming up. Watch out for our polls. Feel free to comment, subscribe, share this video. I appreciate y'all being here. Take one more last drink for me. Amen, brother.